I hate to say the phrase I feel, but honestly, the game on Sunday really had a feeling to me that it was personal,
Chargers
especially
versus
because
Dolphins is what he's
Chargers
talking about.
versus Dolphins because I was scrolling through Twitter and all of a sudden, I see a clip of Mike McDaniel and they are asking him about the game last year and they ask him the Brandon Staley plan and he scoffs like laughing and I'm like, damn. And then like later they talk about Ronaldo Hill being over there and he's like essentially saying Ronaldo Hill's a good old boy. He falls on the sword, but I think he said probably a lot of those bad ideas were Staley's, but he said it was his or something to that effect. So I felt like Sunday was so personal to him that he was not even thinking about punting, and all he was trying to do was run that scoreboard and make sure he beat the Chargers. So I don't know what you thought. Did you think it was personal? Did you hear anything over there?
It's funny you bring it up.
expert?
I'm not an expert, or I play one on TV. But Dan, you read my story. I felt like because that is the lead to my story of my coach's ranking is the little rift, not a rift, but the matchup between Staley and Mike McDaniel. And the way I put it was like, yeah, like I couldn't tell was that a scoff or not, but there was something there, and I guess it's just being a competitor because I saw that ESPN little doc on Mike McDaniel, and he was saying that he started drinking because he put so much pressure to keep up with McVay, Matt LaFleur, all these guys he was hanging out with in Washington, and like, man, I'm not as good as these guys, and like, for him to be that honest and say he started drinking because he couldn't keep up, then he figured out, you know what, I don't care about these other people. That at least told me that this guy's a competitor. He wants to be the best coach, and yeah, he had a bad route, and people weren't taking him seriously, but he's a damn good play caller and a good designer. So I think that little scoff was more of a competition. Like, yeah, Staley, like he gave it to me, but I'm gonna bring it back. But then I saw in the post game, or somebody asked him that little question again about the little rivalry, and he's like, you know what? It's actually super insulting that you're making it about the coaches and not the player. So maybe my guess was off there. Maybe the scoff was about making it about the players and not me, because he said that these two coaches were not even playing the freaking game. Why are you making it about us?
Yeah.
But I still like the competitive side. So there's something there. And by the way, like, Staley and Mike McDaniel, they're actually good friends. They're different people.
Oh yeah, that's why I thought it was weird.
Friends.
That's why I thought it was weird that he would have said that in the press conference.
Yeah, I went with the competition side, but you could tell, like, Mike McDaniel gave him an extra hug because they are boys, but Staley was like, "Get the hell away from me," and I like that because they're competitors. But I think you had something there with the scoff, but I think it's more about like, yeah, let's keep it to the game.
Well, and you can tell Staley really cares. Like, we've seen him before post game, and he's really angry, but it's far away from that story that Gilbert wrote, how the NFL views Brandon Staley as the Ted Lasso.
Maybe the curse is real.
I'm telling you, I don't know why you don't listen to me. Like, honestly, that was my takeaway. You could put a freaking, empty, pads and helmet, and Mike McDaniel's going to make that thing right. Freaking, I was just so amazed with how well they did.
But that's what I was thinking, because Kyle Van Noy said that on Twitter that he thinks we're not, like, this is exactly what I'll tell you guys what he said, but somebody asked him, like, what did you think about the game? And then he said not enough characters to respond. When you have a lot of time during the offseason, overthinking happens. Sometimes players can change stuff up on the field. I think it's whatever. He just chalked it up to bad play and everything. But he said obviously Ronaldo Hill was a big part of what they did last year, and he feels like Ronaldo went in there and told him, this is what I think they're going to do, and they game planned around it. But even the Chargers, like we saw, they changed what they did from last year to this year, maybe to try and throw a curveball, but it didn't help, because if you give Tyreek Hill a free release, he's just gonna
he's gonna complete.
He's gonna take it off. So take the top off. But Vic, are you done?
Oh, the other thing I was going to say was a joke. I was going to say, clearly Tyreek Hill, or the Madden rating for the DBs on the Chargers weren't very good in Madden, because he just torched them the whole time, dude. There you go. That was my best.
No, I was just going to add, in terms of what you guys were just talking about. I just think that you had enough time there, and I think the two guys just kind of were playing chess, and I think Staley kind of overthought things, and you want to change things up from your last matchup, and I just think with Staley, I think he overplayed his hand, and it happens, man. It's the first game. They'll readjust, and they'll be fine going forward. I just think it was, and honestly, this game saved for week 1, because outside of that, which I'll get to what I'm gonna talk about, which is the Raiders win over the Broncos. Honestly, week 1 was pretty boring outside of that game, and so I know it sucks for Dan and Daygo because the Chargers lost, but
I don't care. I don't care anymore. They're not. They have no sway over my emotional state. I'm over it. It is what it is. I told just real quick. Sorry to cut you off. I told a buddy who was a Patriots fan or whatever. I was like, dude, you have 6. Be grateful. Da 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 da. He's like, we should be good every year. I'm like, I'm a Chargers fan. I have nothing, dude. I expect nothing. Like sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. Other times it's like, okay, well, yeah, I already knew this was gonna happen. I've seen this song and dance before.